right, we're back for another episode of the Rehashables. Been a little while, pal. It's been a few weeks since we've recorded anything, right? Maybe even over a month. A little
Last was the last one, right? And that was, I think, like end of October. It might have been just before Halloween, I think.
It feels like a lifetime ago. So, but we just hadn't had anything to really talk about until, boom, Stranger Things is back for part one of 3, just before Thanksgiving that was released, and we ripped through that, and we just figured we'd do a pod about it, talk about that among a few other things that we want to talk about. But you fired up to go?
Yeah, this has been one of our more favorite shows of the last, crazy to think, but what last like 8 years, right? It's been running. If the first one was 2016, 17.
I feel like it's longer than that. I mean, it's an easy thing to look up as we're talking, but I thought it was like 10 years.
Yeah, but remember the show? It was July 2016. So almost 10 years.
Okay,
so that 9.5 years. But like, remember when it came on? This was one of the first like batch of like Netflix shows. It was like House of Cards was like this whole binge model of them just like releasing a show, all the episodes at once, and people kind of watching them as fast as you can. In Stranger Things, I mean, I don't remember, but it wasn't like we were so fired up for this. But then when it came out, like a show could not have been more made for you and I.
oh, so good.
That first season was unbelievable. The 80s nostalgia, the music, the like, it kind of felt like a Spielberg kind of like E.T. kind of thing. It was violent. It was really, really well done.
I thought the first episode was really good. Not to spend too much time on that first season, but like the first episode got me. But I think the episode that really got me was when they found Will's body in the quarry, and then they had that song. I think it was like "We Could Be Heroes" or something like that.
It was Heroes playing.
It's a version of it. I'm like, this show's freaking awesome. Injected into my veins, and I've been on ever since. The only thing is, it just takes forever between seasons.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk about that when we dive on. But 9.5 years working with these kids were 10, 11, 12, 13ish or whatever when it all kind of started. They've grown up so much. They became stars. I mean, they became they absolutely got like thrown into the stratosphere of celebrity and that kind of thing. And I think they've done a really good job handling it. And it broke a record, on Thanksgiving or whatever when it came out Wednesday, where most streams ever. It broke its previous record from the previous season or whatever. So it's still the most popular thing on TV and streaming.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that it did. I mean, it seems like everything people were talking about leading up to it. I did a season 4 rewatch. I don't think you did.
No,
right?
I did an hour YouTube rewatch instead of the whole.
Which is good. I freaking loved season 4. Aubrey started watching this. I don't know if I told you this.
You did.
She's on season 4. I think she watched season 4 premiere and she's just kind of ripping through it.
She was at season 1 like a week ago.
She watches like freaking 5 episodes a day. It's nuts. Which is a little bit of a bummer for me for her. I mean, I'm glad she's watching it because we'll be able to enjoy those 3 episodes around Christmas time and then the finale together. But like, you do miss out a little bit on it when you binge a whole series worth of a show in the course of a week or two. There's just, you don't get to sit with your thoughts between seasons and episodes. I mean, I know that Stranger Things has the format of binging a season anyways, but like just doing all of the seasons back to back to back, you don't really get a chance to like anticipate things anyways. But she's like, which one's your favorite season? I'm like, man, I really did like 4. I thought it was a great season. It's hard, it's recency bias, but I did think season 4 was really good.
Yeah, me, it's 1. 1 is still the best for me. Like complete, little, like a very simplified story. Like it goes 1, 4, 3, 2 for me in that order. And 1, 4, and 3 are like very close. I love the mall season. I really like the mall season. 2 has, I think, a lot of issues from that sort of stuff. But I'm so happy that Netflix at least somewhat learned for this final season of like not releasing all of them. They're doing volume 1, 2, and 3, which is 4 episodes, 3 episodes, and then the 2.5-hour finale or whatever it is, which at least gives you a little time to digest it. I don't know why any show, I know Netflix has its own thing, wouldn't want to just own the culture for 10 straight weeks. You know what I mean? But at least they're buying some time.
It blows my mind that they won't. that they won't just pivot from what they've established as their thing. I guess this is as close to that as they possibly can. But like, yeah, you should be doing this every Sunday at 9 o'clock or every Thursday at 9 o'clock, and then the podcasts come out, and the YouTube videos come out, and they tear things apart, and you anticipate the next episode. I guess this is as good as it gets. I think it's kind of annoying to have 4, 3, and then 1 over the course of a month, and then a few days. It's a weird little cadence, but I guess it's better than all of it going on at once.
And I guess the other thing is, like, especially like over the holidays, which I gotta get because maybe they want families to watch it together and that sort of stuff. But like, it's just such a busy time of year. But regardless, hey, we're complaining. We're happy it's back. Absolutely, really enjoyed the first 4 episodes a lot.
Me too.
I just love being in this universe. I love being with these people. I love the synthesizer music. I like it all. You know.
Yeah, it's really good. Nice to have it back. Planned for today will be for us. We'll do our 3 top moments, 3 lowlights, some funny observations, just kind of like nitpicky, funny, inconsistency type stuff, and then just some things that we're looking forward to, if that works for you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
Really
cool.
good.
So, do you want to just jump right into the top 3 moments? I think we should focus on the positives. There's so many good things to discuss. Even the low moments are nothing crazy. So, do you want to start with your number 3 top moment?
Yep, absolutely. I really love the time jump stuff and and how they've handled like how people have to stay in Hawkins. It was basically, Rockin' Robin when she was starting off on the thing that kind of gave that great like 2 or 3 minute kind of like this is what's been going on the last 20 months, right? We've decided last 20 months
20
or
months.
so. And I just liked how Hawkins has been shut down by the government. Nobody can go in and out. They have to do like their tests all the time. I liked that stuff, and that was like, okay, I can understand how the kids are a little bit older now. They look a little bit older. All this has been going on, and then it makes sense for how far they've come with like their tunnel system and all that sort of stuff in 20 months. So I'm glad it didn't just pick up right after the ground broke in season 4 and did a good 20-month jump.
The Rockin' Robin radio recap, and then like sharing kind of like the codes to like some of their plan, I thought was great. She crushes it in this show, and such a great addition to the cast. In season 3, I think she was added, and she was perfect to be like the radio host for Hawkins. Now, just not the top 3 thing for me, but definitely like in that honorable mention fringe area of top moments for me.
She's great. I mean, I will say every year, I don't know another show. I really don't know another show that has gone on for as many seasons, and every season they add a character that's a home run. You know what I mean? Season 2, it was Max. Season 3, it was Robin. Season 4, it was Eddie. I don't think we have someone this season, but like,
We absolutely have somebody.
oh, yeah, okay, maybe that's a highlight for you. Maybe we'll talk about it.
Danny Turnbow?
You love, yeah. I'm anxious to see about that, but she's great.
Top moment. I mean, it's like he's just a funny little shit. I mean, I don't know who else they would really have, but he's like, I guess if there's anyone, he's like the new character.
But to have Maya Hawke, I mean, of Hollywood royalty, and just come in and her personality and her energy and her being matched with Steve is just great. That's how I enjoyed that part of the storyline.
Okay, I like it. You ready for my number 3? There's no doubt some aspect of this is going to be incorporated into your top 3, so I feel bad for that. We can just discuss it, and I'm going to lump these 2 things into one, and it's just the Demogorgon going after Holly and then going after Derek Turnbow. Just so I'm going to put under the Demogorgon, like just like I guess trying to attack. When the Demogorgon went for Holly, I thought that was an awesome scene. Just watching it, kind of the portal open up. It was exciting, scary. You can imagine a kid being in this situation, running away. They're hiding under the water, her and her mom. And then both the parents get involved, get attacked pretty brutally. I just thought it was like a very intense scene. And then the Turnbow trap, which was like part 2 of that, where they try to like track the Demogorgon and they just freaking tear the house apart. And it's kind of like Home Alone. Like everything about the Demogorgon in those 2 moments I thought was awesome. So highlighted the season for me, or one of the highlights, I should say.
I'm so happy you said that because it's not in my top 3, but I love this for a few reasons. Okay. This was really kind of like a feel of season 1 when it was just the Demogorgon. You know what I mean? When it was just that as the bad guy, and to just kind of have the Demogorgon back for majority of it. It wasn't the Mind Flare and like the demi-dogs and like all like the other things. It was just like this one creature trying to get you and you have to run from it. I thought they did a great job with that as well. And as you were saying it, I kind of take back what I just said. I think Holly's awesome. I think Holly's a really good addition. I don't know.
She's actually probably the true best addition. Yeah.
I don't know the math about like she was a baby in season 1 and she's I don't know how old in this season and like that sort of thing, but like she's a good addition, and kind of having her be the like main like almost like the Will character from and as this show has gone on, similar to like almost like Harry Potter, like kind of reference to that, I enjoy how it's gotten more mature and more violent. I mean, this is a violent episode. Like what happened to Karen and Ted. They didn't die. They, you know what I mean? Which they don't. That
how they didn't die. I mean, you see freaking Nancy Wheeler's upper chest. I mean, holy smokes, those are some pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah,
whatever. That's the Nancy.
Yeah, but Ted too. Ted got, I mean, like thrown over. You know what I mean? So they're not in great shape. But I like how they don't hold back on the violence, and that really started last season, the episode 1 with what is it, Chris with Vecna tearing people's bodies apart.
The way that Vecna kills people is gruesome and very violent. So yeah, you're right. They picked that up last year. But should the Wheelers have died?
Yes, it's a whole thing that I one issue, and it's funny that's going to be in one of my highlights, and I'll get to it in a second. But like, I do wish there were some like stakes at that sense. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones kind of thing. Whatever. I'll get to my next, which kind of goes
ahead of time. But anyways, yeah. So, and then just the turnbow trap. I just to kind of close the loop on that. I just thought that was a fun episode. Yeah, and probably a little bit over the top, and we can get to that.
I will be getting to that later.
I just thought it was a fun episode, and it was great, like you said, to see the Demogorgon. And the Demogorgon has really like stepped up its game over the seasons in terms of like how it is on screen and how menacing it is and how truly scary it is. So anyways, that's number 3 for me.
Awesome. All right, great. My number 2, and I could even say it's probably a little hypocritical because of what I said, because I think we talked about it at the end of season 4. I think we potted about that. Max coming back. I was a believer that Max should have died at the end of season 4. I thought she should have died because
of what we just said.
Because of stakes. You know what I mean? Like if Max dies, the kids' motivation to really get angry and kill Vecna is like amplified by 100. You know what I mean? But you just can't get rid of, I guess, Sadie Sink. And she, the actress that plays Max, I think as any of the actors go, she is like clear the best actress in the show. She's the one that I think after Stranger Things is going to go on and actually have a really great career. So the show is better with her in it, and I think connecting her with Holly in this like Vecna world coma place that she's in was really well done, and that's one of the more parts I'm anxious to see where it'll go. Maybe so I like that.
I really like that end of episode 3 when she like re-revealed herself, and her scene in the beginning of episode 4 was awesome. It was kind of like explaining what happened, and it was great. And there's just so much more to tell on that one. I'm sure that'll be a big part of the last 4 episodes, but that was my number 2 thing, just kind of her coming back. And I'm a big fan of her character. Again, I do think she should have died because it would have just upped the stakes. The whole season was just about basically like her, or at least that's the way that I view it in a lot of ways, that it was just kind of like her story, her escape, her fighting Vecna. And like if Vecna would have got her, that would have been cool. But I'm hoping that what they do with her just pays off in a great way.
And maybe, I mean, prediction time, I don't know, but like maybe she'll sacrifice herself and not make it. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like her her arc was so good in season 4 with obviously the Kate Bush song and that iconic moment. Like that is like an iconic moment of her running through and like getting out and that sort of stuff. So it's like the show is better off with her in it. I understand that. You know what I mean? And I hope the payoff that comes. So
we get a little bit of Kate Bush here and there this season.
Yo,
Kate Bush love that story. Making a run on Spotify charts right now.
That was so fun. I truly have never heard that song in my life, ever.
No,
before that, and it just completely blew up last year. She made
that's so
like
good.
millions of
Never
dollars.
did. I'm in.
Yeah,
So
it's a great song. So that, oh, good. So we both have the same number two.
yeah, it's number two. You go number one or me go number one?
Yeah, I bet you were both gonna.
Yeah, it's the end of the fourth episode for me. People refer to it as like Will's coming out party. He has an interesting arc throughout the second half of the whole series, and there's a lot of stuff about his sexuality and accepting himself. But it seems like there was a little bit of that accepting himself and then realizing what he's capable of. And in particular, I loved the part where he did what to the Demogorgons, what Vecna does to the kids when he'd kill them, lift them up, snap their limbs, and like do all that. Like I thought that was a nice role reversal, and just that whole scene was pretty intense. The sorcerer.
That's my number one. It's actually Will's arc is kind of my whole number one thing. I got this really split into two things. I thought the opening of the season was really good with like Will back in the Upside Down and him like singing that song, and then us trying to escape the Demogorgon getting him, and then Vecna putting whatever in him he had to. I thought that was pretty well done, and I just thought the ending was like one of those like jaw-dropping moments, like you said.
Kind of had a feeling it would go that way, to be honest with you, at some point. Like that Will would have an opportunity to shine in one way or another, and like it's clear that he's going to be a huge piece moving forward. It'll be interesting. Like you would have thought it would be 11 kind of doing what Will did, but now it's Will. So
it was great with like the cut of like his childhood and like Robin talking to him and like him like kind of feeling what he was feeling. A great moment. But on top of the Will stuff, which is great, that fight scene, an action scene of Vecna coming through the wall and just completely wrecking havoc and dominating, and it was like how it was filmed. It was like very like one shot-y. Like,
it was a great one shot. I wanted to bring that up. I'm glad you mentioned that. Awesome one shot. Like, how do they even freaking film that stuff? It's insane.
I don't know. It was so chaotic and like great with like Mike like leading the kids around and like them going behind a car and like Vecna blowing up some stuff. It was really good. And this show, what it needed, and it delivered it last year, was a big bad. The final boss. You know what I mean? And Vecna, I think, is a really, really good final boss for this show. So I thought how they ended it was great because had me wanting more.
Yeah, it was a great cliffhanger. Like definitely a lot to look forward to when the show returns right before Christmas. So yeah, that was a great number one for me. I thought that fourth episode was awesome.
Yep, awesome, great. So
yeah, I mean those are the main things in terms of like anything that I would have left out. No, everything that I wrote down, that was it. So you want to just jump into some of the low moments?
Yeah, and again, I love this season so far. One of the things I just cannot get on board with is the Jonathan and Nancy storyline.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind is rooting for Jonathan and Nancy to get together and not have Steve and Nancy be together? There is not one person watching this show that is like, I really want Jonathan and Nancy.
Hey, Jonathan guy. Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to like talk fine character, good actor, whatever, and they're dating in real life. They've been dating in real life for like 9 years, I guess, the two of them.
So, but do we really want Steve and Nancy though? It's like I want Steve to like go do his thing, man. Yeah, I'm not like a big Nancy fan, so it's just like I'm kind of out on both of them. I almost kind of want Jonathan and Nancy to be together so Steve can go do his thing. You know?
You know what? You might have just sold me because Steve is so much better than both of them. Steve Harrington is one of the best characters on TV. So good. Newburyport's own Steve, Joe Carey. Guy's just a man, and he has all the charisma and that sort of stuff. But you're right. I think maybe just Jonathan and Nancy just don't really care much about them, you know?
Yeah. Well, Jonathan's going to propose at some point.
With a ring that he got at like Market Basket, the quarter machine. Like that ring is very small, but yeah, that's funny.
Freaking judgy. Holy cow. Poor guy's probably looking there for that thing.
That ring, it was just, I know he got what he could afford. They're in love, but they don't even act like each other. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Do they're dating in real life and they have no chemistry on the show.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, I'm out on them, but honestly, they can have each other because I'm not the biggest Nancy fan either.
All right.
So that's cool.
All right, cool.
So for me, it's weird to say like lowlights because it's not like specific things. I oddly don't buy into like the Hopper 11 stuff quite that much. Like I should more than I do. I just feel like Hopper's hard on her. I don't feel like they have like this great relationship. They should have like this father-daughter relationship. Obviously, Hopper cares about her. Obviously, he tries to protect her. Doesn't want her to put herself in positions that are too risky. But it's just like a little much, dude. It's like, all right, dude, season 5, like, I don't know.
That funny. That was actually my number 2. Was based off of that because like I thought like again the fake out of like him saying bye and like her going behind the door. There was not 1 second I thought that Hopper was gonna die. I like their dynamic and it's just so funny. Not funny, but because you bring real life into it a little bit. Obviously, if you the Millie Bobby Brown and David Harbour like conflict that came up before the season, but then they're all,
conflict. I don't even understand.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But it definitely something wasn't quite clicking or whatever with that. And I thought again the thing of like it was literally so identical to the end of season 3 at the mall with like Harbour saying goodbye and like come on, you like we know that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I agree.
I expect another emotional payoff for them as well because they just like there's so much history going back to the beginning of the show. It's just when I see them on TV on the screen, I'm just like whatever,
So would that be? What is your favorite? Like, who's your favorite? Because let's say there's 3 groupings. You know what I mean? There's the kids up in the real world. Well, yeah, the kids up in the real world. 4 groupings really. Kids up in the real world. Max and Holly. The other kids in the Upside Down. Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, and Nancy.
Yeah, and, so it's like here I am saying that I don't like Jonathan and Nancy, but I do like Dustin and Steve. And Dustin's been okay this season. Yeah. And there's some people that don't love the way he's acted, but he's grieving on the Eddie stuff. But I do like those people, and definitely like the Max and Holly stuff. I'm not the biggest like Will and Mike fans, but it's like I like some people in each grouping, others and not so much.
Yeah, I would say probably the people in the real world. I like the Mike, Lucas, Will, Robin, Winona Ryder. Yeah. Like I like that Derek stuff. I like that stuff. That's cool. But anyway.
I do like Lucas. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So that was my number 2. So what else do you have?
So I don't necessarily have these in any specific order, but I haven't loved the use of Dr. K at this point, which is Linda Hamilton's character. And obviously there's way more coming to that, but like it's just a little bit of a letdown for me at this point because I was hoping to get a little bit more into like what her deal is. And unless I was on my phone during different parts of it, I just don't really know what her deal is. And she was going to give a little bit more info at one point. You may have heard on like Joan Malpod, and then 11 kind of cut her off there. So I'm hoping we get more. Bummed that we haven't got more so far.
I will say a couple things. I do like Linda Hamilton. I just like having her. Oh, of course, I'm not saying you don't like her, but I'm just saying I very much like. I'm happy she's in the show. I'm happy she's playing a badass. T2 is one of our favorite movies ever. And Linda Hamilton is incredible. So I'm just happy that she's working and like it's just like great to have Linda Hamilton there. What are your thoughts about the Upside Down? Like there being freaking like helicopters riding around and like a city like they built in the Upside Down and stuff like that.
It's a good progression of the Upside Down. Definitely weird, like taking it to the next level, and it makes sense to me. I don't know, like the Upside Down was a mysterious place, and it still kind of is. I'm hoping we just get I read someplace that we will find out exactly what the Upside Down is, and I don't know what that could mean. I mean, we kind of know what it is a little bit, but anyways, it's fine. It's whatever. I'm looking forward to more on the Upside Down, though, for sure.
All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, so my other thing, and this is more of a nervous thing than a low light, okay? I'm nervous about the reveal of number 8 at the end. I'm nervous about it because that was probably like not unanimously, but like that storyline in season 2 has been like nitpicked and very much like not a positive review.
Hey, that's unanimous. That is
like no one like really like that.
Rankings on like a scale like that one would be like way below even the second worst episode or the second or the the other episodes. I mean, I know there might have been a couple episodes that touched on those kids, but like, it was the worst storyline.
I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, again, like, sound like a dick or whatever, but I just don't like, I don't care about the other kids. Like, we're 4 episodes away from the show being done. You know what I mean? And it's like, am I supposed to, someone has similar powers to 11. What's this, what is she connected to? Like, what is she doing? You know what I mean? I don't, we'll get those answers and that kind of stuff, but like to have that be the big reveal behind the door, I actually was so interested if it was Vecna. If like the military did capture Vecna and like held him in a way that was controlling him.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a cool concept.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we might not have gotten that Vecna payoff at the end, but I didn't love that was the big reveal behind the door.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I wouldn't have thought of that as a low light just because it's more like I'm curious and interested to see how they do it. But yeah, that is strange. It is a weird callback. They did. You might have read this, but the Duffer Brothers gave 4 episodes to go back and watch in anticipation of season 5, and one of them was like the episode that those kids are in. So it's like they were obviously trying to lay the groundwork for people.
Like the episode that is like the lowest ranked.
Yes. One of them, okay. One of the 4 they gave was that. A couple in the episode in season 4, then I forget the other one, the 4th one. But everyone was like, "Why the Duffer Brothers drawing attention again to like the worst episode of the series?" You know, it actually makes sense that they would reintroduce her. I think her name's Callie, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Give them benefit of the doubt. I said it's not maybe a low light, but I'm just nervous. I'm like, oh, that's I love like 2 ends of the spectrum with like Will's storyline and like where that's going and how they kind of landed that, and then like this stuff with like 11 and that. So
okay, I do have one more low light that isn't really a low light, but it kind of is. The use of CGI in Jonathan and Steve's race up the tower thing. Yeah. You know, like I like the scene. I don't get why it's like little dick measuring contest between the two of them, but I guess that's a thing between them. But just interesting use of CGI. There's some CGI with Will stuff earlier. This is a heavy effects show. You know, it looks a lot different than it did earlier on in season 1. So I don't hate it, but it is a lot sometimes.
I can understand that. You know what I mean? Always practical is way better to go. You know what I mean? Because it can take you out of it a little bit. But yeah, when you got hundreds of millions of dollars of budget, they want to build this world, and that's their way to feel it. But I can understand that. And
yeah, there's a lot of CGI.
Yeah, there's a lot of CGI. Absolutely.
Okay, you want to do some funny observations? I've got a whole bunch of these.
Me too. Funny observations. 11's plan to jump every 7 seconds with the thunder was the most ridiculous plan. They said that 7 seconds went by, thunder went off, and then no thunder went off again until like she jumped. Like that whole plan was so bad and so crazy.
I hate to say that, but like she seems. I mean, is that on purpose? You know, like kind of acknowledging that she
talk right? Like her, like she's
a little off, and I don't know if that's just like her acting or, I mean, it's obviously got to be deliberate, but yeah, it's a weird plan, and she's kind of weird person, kind of awkward, and yeah, that's not well thought out.
That plan, I'm gonna time it with the thunder. The thunder goes off every 7 seconds, and then like 2 minutes of dialogue go by. There's no thunder at all, and then
that one time she nailed it though. So
she nailed it. Hopper was counting at the same time too. They were in sync so perfectly with that. So that was a funny observation. So
okay, ready for one of mine? Getting back to the Turnbow house. Loved their plan for the Turnbow trap, except for the hole in the floor. That was a little much. I don't know that they had to do the hole in the floor, and I'm honestly surprised that they were able to cut that hole in the floor as easily as they did, and the whole house didn't freaking just fall in to itself.
That plan was ridiculous. It was fun to see, but when the floor went and landed on all their wine cellar or whatever, was like my jaw dropped. Like there was no reason for like any like a lot of their booby traps in it. Okay. Also, a nitpick. To set that up would have taken 12 to 16 hours.
Yeah, they got done, what, hour and a half, maybe?
They got done like they got there at like 7, and by 9 p.m., like they were ready for the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
With all this like plan being set up. I'm like, you kidding me? It takes me 45 minutes to like hang a picture on a wall. Mine to like do this stuff in like 90 minutes. So anyway, that's also one of my nitpicks.
Yeah, I mean, loved the episode, loved all that stuff, but yeah, that was weird. Also, kind of adjacent to that, I don't quite understand how things work in Hawkins where, like, the Turnbows seem to be doing pretty well. They got a wine cellar. The guys like dressed up. Like what's going on here? Like you guys are just. I know the kids are going to school. I know everything's kind of within there, but why isn't everyone just wearing like sweatpants? Like where's he going to dress like?
He's a real estate mogul or whatever, like in the realty. What real estate's being happening right now in Hawkins?
Yeah. Closing's happening in Hawkins, so it's just that whole like what's going on. Like they're isolated, like they're trying to make it a thing, but like I don't know, it just seems strange that things would be operating that much like normal.
So it's so funny. Yeah, I completely agree with you there. All right, you have another one, or do you want me to go?
I mean, we'll just go back and forth. What else you got?
Will, when he did that painting on the wall, all right, remember he like did the paint like of what he saw.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He made this like amazing painting, and then they were able to be like, oh, 12 pods for 12 kids. And like Robin goes in and like points to like all 12. I am like, how the hell did they get there with this? How did he draw this in that memory? That was funny.
It reminds me of, remember when Max had a bunch of drawings last season? You might not remember this. And then they pieced them all together and it like made the house, like the Creel house. And it's like, all right, you guys are a little too good with like your artwork here. But I mean, it's a TV show.
I thought that was just very, very funny. So yeah, okay. I thought that scene, I'm like, wow, it's unbelievable how Will remembered what he saw, could draw it like that, and then Robin was like, 12 pods. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, other one for me. Kind of sad, funny observation, but where's Max's mom in bed? It's like Lucas and Max. It's not like they're married. Lucas is there like every day. Where is freaking Max's mom at the hospital room? Little strange, but I mean, it is a TV show. But it seems like he's the only one that's there.
So you probably remember this more than me. I didn't think Max's mom was in the picture.
Yeah, remember she went to go see her in season 4 before she had like a hallucination.
Okay.
With Vecna, but she like was talking to her.
Did Billy kill the dad in season 3? Because they had an abusive father, right?
Yeah.
Their dad was very abusive. And I think
I don't remember season 3, so I don't want to misspeak, but when
Billy turned, remember because Billy turned, I thought he killed the dad. I could be completely wrong. I honestly
he honestly may have, and I have not watched like season 3 for me was like forever ago, and I have not revisited it or watched like a long-term highlight. And that might be true, but I'm fairly certain that Max is alive, and I've heard it mentioned on other pods just as like a thing as well. Anyways, she should be there. Go visit Max once in a while.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what's she doing? There's not much you can do in Hawkins.
What else are you doing? Yeah,
exactly. There's not much you can do. Parents being cool with military just coming, taking the kids and bringing them to a bunker to like just hang out.
To a concentration camp.
Yeah, basically. You know what I mean? And that one teacher there or something like that. I saw like parents didn't seem to put up too much of a fight when the military came to knock on the door. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Thought that was interesting.
Good call. Which kind of makes me thinking about the kids. For me, when you hear Holly has an imaginary friend called Mr. What's-It, and you know everything else has gone on over the past few years, you don't want never crosses your mind like that's something more to it than Holly has an imaginary friend, and like no one else's kids who's are seeing Mr. What's-It too are like talking about this. It's like, isn't it obvious that Mr. What's-It was going to be Vecna and that there was just more to her imaginary friend?
Ed's a little bit too into his golf swing right now to care. Karen's just drinking the wine, drinking the wine, having baths. You know what I mean?
Mike knew about Mr. What's-It.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely.
You think Mike would be like, wait a second. So what's the deal with Mr. What's-It again? Like, what's he look like? I don't know. Just
also the level of detail that Karen knew about Mr. What's-It was incredible when they interviewed her in the thing and was like drawing it. Like that was unbelievable. Like what's Mr. What's-It's first name? Henry. Like how the hell did that not come up?
Yeah, dude, come on. Like that's freaking obvious. And honestly, where the hell's Vecna been for the past 20 months? Just
that's
like
why I thought he was kidnapped.
Well, yeah, that would have made sense. And I bet you we get that back. So there's a lot of Vecna stuff coming. I have no doubt about that.
He's trimmed down a lot. He was definitely on a hell of a workout plan because he's way more thin than he was in season 4. He's like looking fit. He was probably just doing like Peloton or something like that in the upside down. Yeah. So
I think that's all I have.
Last thing, and this probably isn't a great thing to say about a show that we love, but what is Eleven's powers exactly? Like she can jump. She can move things with her brain. She brought Max back to life. Can penetrate people's thoughts in their head. Like what are her scope of powers?
Think of her as having like Jedi type skills. Like
Okay.
anything that you think a Jedi could do is what she can do. Everything you just said, and it's not just like she can move things with her mind. It's like all of those things. I think
That's a great. That is one of the better things you've ever said on this podcast.
Wow, Jesus,
that comparison is that 11 is like a Jedi, and that's really that's a good observation. I think. Oh, yeah, cool. So that was it.
All right. Well, we talked a little bit about like our questions, the next questions, or things like, I guess, boil it down for like what's the things that you're looking forward to most being answered or coming up?
I am looking forward to getting a little bit more about the wall and stuff that's happening. I don't really quite, understand that. So I'm curious to know about because they've really been beating that on. Another like funny observation was Dustin, like how he was able to like triangulate and like draw a picture and like the military base in the middle and that sort of thing was just basic mathematics. He said
exactly.
So Hawkins, that teacher is incredible. I forget his name, but they have a great math department, science department. But like, I'm curious to know more about this like wall, the wall here, the wall where Max is, in like that kind of stuff, and like why is Henry? Because I want to say Vecna. Why is Henry so afraid to go into that cave? You know what I mean? That sort of questions I have with the wall concepts.
Did you listen to the full Malin Joe pod?
I don't think I got to the full.
They talk about that cave piece, and I won't spoil it here, but the cave thing is something that's in this. Like, have you heard about the Broadway play that they did for Stranger Things? And it takes place in like the parents when they were in high school. And there's some things, and they actually were complaining about how like if it ties to it the way that it does in the play, like it's a bummer that that sort of information would be in a play and not on the actual show. But anyways, I think it's something that will be addressed.
Yeah,
based on what they said.
Okay. All right, so that's one thing I have questions for.
So for me, like I think the thing that I'm most interested in is just like Will and Vecna's connection. More like anytime in any show that they can show me something that changes what I thought of what originally happened. Like just how they showed Will with Vecna interacting with Vecna when he was a child during that first abduction. Like just something that just gives you a different perspective on information that you knew 4 or 5 seasons ago. So I would love more backstory on that, like more on how Vecna came to be and just any connections he has to Will or any other history of Hawkins. And I think we'll get that with I heard something about a Vecna flashback episode, or obviously we'll tap into it with the memories pieces. I think that where Max is. So look forward to that probably more than anything.
Obviously Will's capabilities now. Like, can he just turn it on, turn it off like 11? Is he like 11? Is he more powerful than 11? Are they able to team up? Is he going to get like, is he completely Will still? Is there any like bad in him? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious to see what will come from Will too, so obviously. So,
and then the next thing I'm excited about is just like what happens with Max, just how they're going to use her to tell the story. At some point, I anticipate her coming out of her coma, which will be cool. And I really look forward to seeing that. I've noticed that her wrists look like they're okay. So that must have healed up, which is freaking, but yeah, I look forward to her probably as the next most important thing for me.
Yeah. And then the last thing for me is the Linda Hamilton character.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see if they're going to be a little bit more of a payoff. Because I thought Brenner was a really good, he was a bad guy, but like a good, like medium bad guy. You know what I mean? Of like the real world bad guy and stuff. Because it was so complicated with him. Like he loved 11, but was doing terrible things. And he wasn't like all bad, but he was bad enough. So like what's going on with Linda Hamilton? You know what I mean? Like, I need to know a little bit more about that. And then obviously, like, number 8, like, how is she all connected? Is she going to be part of the crew now? Like, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. A lot to look forward to, dude. I'm pumped for it. We got another couple more weeks. I don't know. What date is it? Is it December 23rd? Is it Christmas Eve?
That was Christmas Day.
It might be Christmas Day, dude. That's silly. But yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's 3 episodes coming out and then 1 finale on New Year's Eve.
8 p.m. Eastern, New Year's Eve.
Great. Which no one has plans.
So silly time. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, I know that I won't watch it that night. It'll be the next day. They're doing a simultaneous movie release at a few different places, and we talked about how they're doing that at the Methuen movie theater where you go to see a lot of things. But that show is showing at the time that it's releasing on Netflix, 8 o'clock. It's like, dude, I'm not going to the movies in Massachusetts at 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve.
And then like the last showing of it is like 2 p.m. or whatever, or 5, on New Year's Day. Like, how is
Actually,
it?
it was the 8 o'clock showing on New Year's Eve and the 5 o'clock or 2. I don't think it's not like it's playing at like 11 to, like there's not that many showings of this thing. I kind of like the idea of them doing that for this, but the timing is a little bit of a bummer.
Yep. So it's Christmas Day 8 p.m. and then New Year's Eve 8 p.m. So
that's not the worst. That's actually not the worst. I could probably watch an episode with Aubrey or something like that on Christmas Day. I'll be gassed, I'm sure, from the days leading up to it. But it's not as bad as like New Year's Eve.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I think we talked about this. I don't understand, and I know it's Netflix models, and I know the Duffer Brothers wanted this, but why they wouldn't do a 2-week theatrical run of Stranger Things finale to just get money. Like I already said this, everyone has already subscribed to Netflix.
Yeah.
They have Netflix money and subscriptions. Why not just release it in the movie theater and get extra money from doing a movie release? You know what I mean, for this.
Gotta fund that HBO purchase, so they would make $100 million doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's great. So I'm fired up. 42 minutes talking about 4 episodes. Pretty great.
I know. Nailed that. So, okay, pumped for that. We did want to spend a few minutes talking about some other things that we're watching. Are you still up for that?
Of course.
10, 15 minutes on that, because there's another show that we've been watching that I think we both really love, and it's called Pluribus, and it's a Vince Gilligan show. Vince Gilligan is the writer for Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. This is his new sci-fi type show that's on Apple Plus. And what's her name that stars in it? Is it Rehs? Rehs, yeah. Rhys Seehorn. She played, what's her name in freaking Better Call Saul? Kim Wexler, Jesus. Yeah, so anyways, you would recognize her if you've seen that. And it's a sci-fi show that's freaking super interesting premise, but I think it's worth us talking about for a second because, we're, 6 episodes into an 8-episode season? It's winding down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a couple weeks finishing that up, and we're probably not going to be able to do a pod specifically about it, so I want to get some thoughts on the record. Are you still loving it after 6 episodes?
Yes, I'm absolutely loving it. I thought this last one was a little bit slower than usual. But I think it's so great.
I loved this past episode. It was one of my favorites. I can see why you would say it's slower, but I've never seen a show like it. It's premise that is truly off the wall. I don't want to recap because we don't do that, but just for mom when she's listening to this, that there's an alien virus that is somehow identified through a signal at the very first episode, and it basically takes the whole population and turns them into like one. They all are like one person at that point. Some people refer to them as the hive. They have all of those people that are part of the hive's thoughts. So when you talk to one, you're talking to all of them. You talk to one person, talk to another person. It's like the same thing. You know what I mean? Like they all know basically all of the information. And there's, I think, 12 or 13 people in the whole entire world that haven't been turned into that. And the character we were talking about, Carol, is the main character. And it's just off the wall. The things that you would think would happen to do, like it's just the way that it's filmed. It's pretty remarkable. So anyways, they're dealing with that. And I love everything about the premise. I love the way that it's shot. You have probably seen some of the negative feedback online, and I'd be interested in what you think. But like, Carol's a tough watch. She's a tough hang, And I know that's like, what would you do if you were in her situation? Her spouse or significant other died through this whole thing, but she's just like, she's kind of miserable. She's a tough hang.
I get that, and I've seen that. I don't feel that way, and I think because of Rhys Seehorn and Kim Wexler, and I just absolutely loved. So I could watch her really in anything, and I think the acting she's doing is incredible. And I think what they've done is such a good job of justifying why she's like this. I don't agree that she's a tough hang. I don't agree because she's, I think, the only sane one there is. She found out her wife died because of this. Literally the only person she loved. You found out that her parents sent her to a conversion camp when she was a teenager, and that completely messed her up, messed any relationship up with any family, and kind of a conversion camp similar to like what's going on in the world right now with them trying to convert her and everyone being happy and culty. So I could totally see that. And then like what everyone else is doing, like I had this conversation like Heather like last night, and like, I think I've seen it like online since, but like that guy who's one of the unturned, let's say, that she was with in Vegas or whatever. I mean, I don't want to call him like a rapist, but it's like definitely like having like sleeping with all these like women without like their like official consent and that sort of stuff. And that's kind of a tough look. And he seems like a good guy and like cared about Carol, but like what people are doing to take advantage of the situation, I feel like Carol's the only like sane one, I guess. I don't know.
It is interesting to think that people would handle it the way that they're portraying. You have one guy that's kind of down in South America who doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And he's going to become a bigger part of the show based on the end of this last episode. He's handling it one extreme way. Carol is just angry and she's handling it another way. And then that guy, he's freaking living it up.
He's loving every second of this.
And then the other people are like, it's interesting because the other people have their family around them that are turned, and they still act like those people. Like one woman, she's like, "You made my son cry," because Carol makes the whole population of the world cry just in how she behaves, including one of the people that is not turned son. And she's like, "You made my son cry." It's like, that's not your son, but like, I don't know, man. Like, those people are still around their family, so like they've convinced themselves that it's like still their family. But
and that's like
yeah, so you have people that are handling it all these different ways, and I guess it's probably a pretty fair portrayal for each one of them based on what they've been through.
And it's like a form of control of like her too. So it's like if you get so angry, like you just killed him. Like when she got angry in one of the earlier episodes, like millions of people died because she got angry. Like that's like, you know what I mean? It's like a way of controlling her to not get angry when like she has every right, I feel like, to get angry and stuff. I mean, I thought one of the strongest episodes was the episode 5, which was just her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole episode, and I thought that was just really, really well done, and like her doing detective work and that sort of thing, you know. So
this show is firmly in a place where I cannot predict what is going to happen next. Like, there's certain shows where like, oh, I can see this is generally what's going to happen. I have no freaking clue what's going to happen with this show from week to week. You know, her trying to get heroin to drug Zoja. We try to get some answers from her to the point that they all like kind of get mad at her in a passive aggressive way and all leave, to her going to Vegas. And I mean, every single thing that happens from week to week, I have no clue what's going to happen. So, and just like next week, who knows what the heck's going to happen, but I'm here for it.
And it's one of the things we were talking about last night was, you know, the last 2 episodes, her calling the number, and you have to listen to that message every single time. And it almost is so annoying to the viewer as it is to Carol, because you literally have to listen to the full thing every single time.
Well, they play it like 5 or 6 times. Even the last time, like, you're not going to make me listen to this whole thing again.
And you are.
And they do.
You know, I will say, love the John Cena cameo. And I love
that guy. I loved the John Cena cameo. I thought that was awesome.
And I thought when that guy kept referring, you know, I talked to John Cena about this. This is what John Cena told me. She's like, that is not John Cena. So I love it.
Yeah.
Quick funny thing, because we didn't get a chance to talk about this. Back in episode 2 or 3, when Carol was digging her wife's grave, she didn't make it very far. That was the most realistic depiction of digging a grave in any
one of my biggest pet peeves. One of the rehashable big pet peeves for all of movie and film and TV is digging a freaking grave. Yes, and then they fly in a freaking excavator, which is a good call on their part. But yeah, dude, you can't dig a grave. Freak that. No way. No one. Yeah.
So I can't believe there's only 2 episodes left. Obviously, the guy from Paraguay or whatever is going to play a pivotal role. I thought that scene with his mom at the end of the episode was really well done.
Well, it gave just context to earlier interactions with that woman bringing him food and stuff.
Yes. Yep.
You know, you didn't realize it's like his mom, and it's just.
So it's good. Dude. You know, Zoja's coming back in the picture soon. They're not going to be away from her too much longer.
Yeah, she's on the cast, so she'll be back. My hope, and I don't know, it's not going to happen this season, but like I'm a person that like my favorite. I know we're different this way. One of my favorite things was like the beginning of the first episode where they get the signal, they're trying to figure out what the heck happened, this like alien signal, and then they start to turn. So like I hope we get answers as to like what's going on and why things happening. Don't know that it'll be in the next couple episodes, but like by the time we get to to the end of the series. I think they have 4 seasons planned, so I hear. And then and not to get back to Carol too much, but I am hoping for something that makes me care about her a little bit more. I can appreciate the way she's acting because of her life experiences, but I am one of the people that it's not going to make me not watch the show, which I've seen plenty of people say, I'm not watching the show. Carol's brutal to watch. Like, I don't love Carol, and
Okay.
I want to. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that something happens where I just like
But
really like start to be in on her.
Do you think this episode actually gave you the most sympathy for her out of any episode? Like when she was found out that the 12 were talking without her, and that she wanted to, when she was like, "All right, I'm gonna go shower up. We'll get get some food, and then we'll come back and hang out." And then to see that guy's face, like, I want nothing to do with you. And then
there's a difference between having pity on someone and like actively rooting for them. You know, it's like I do feel bad for her. Like all the people that are not turned are getting together on weekly Zoom calls, and they're not inviting her twice a week because she's brutal. She's, again, a tough hang. You know what I mean? So it's like, that sucks. You know what I mean? She's obviously lonely, and now she's left out of this group, but she's also kind of gotten that because of her behavior. So anyways, like, I don't hate her. I just, like, if some good stuff happened to her, it's not like I'd be like totally fulfilled by it. You know, like, I want to like root for her, and I'm just not there yet. So we'll see. And I'm sure that'll happen at some point because Vince Gilligan is too good and his team of writers are too good, and they obviously have a plan. I haven't seen that thing yet for me.
And so the normal, like the conventional thing would be like not to trust these people, these things. You know what I mean? Like something, but like, is he gonna go that way? Like, do you trust? You know what I mean? Like they did a hell of a spin zone on the human parts. Like John Cena's message made sense. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, human derived protein. I mean, I'm in. Makes sense. Like, I'm good. Okay. I mean, what else are you gonna do with those bodies?
They can't kill anything. They say. You know what I mean? They can't
take an apple off a tree.
They can't take an apple off a tree. They can't farm. You know, they'll be starved in 10 years or 5 years, whatever that it says. You know what I mean? So that doesn't. So eventually they're going to turn. I mean, eventually
they're going to get hostile.
They're going to get hostile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For their survival.
So Vince Gilligan has said that the infected, or whatever you want to call them, are not meant to represent AI. But I personally have a hard time seeing that. Like, to me, whenever Carol is talking to one of them, that's like what an interaction with ChatGPT is for me. You know what I mean? It's just like you're talking to all human existence and knowledge at once, and like it's the perfect analogy for AI, I think.
Spot on. It's literally like talking to ChatGPT. Like, it's like compliment you, like make you feel like you're worthy and like really smart, and then like give you the information you need. You know what I mean? So like we got a little bit more information that, if you wanted to be turned, you could be turned. You know what I mean? It's, we still don't know their plan. You know what I mean? Like their true plan. Because right now, like all they are is like they are completely pleasing and doing whatever the 12 want them to do. That's not their reason for existence. Like, what's their plan?
Yeah. Dude, I cannot wait to hear more about their plan.
Every living organism wants to live and survive. So if they know now that in 5 or 10 years, whatever, they're going to go starving, they're going to have to adapt to a different kind of way, because that isn't sustainable and won't be how they survive. So, you know what I mean? I'm curious. So
cannot wait to see the end, dude. But that's probably the show I'm most into right now, and want to make sure we have a chance to talk about it on the pod, because again, I don't think we're going to be able to in the next couple episodes that we have. One other thing to talk about before we go, unless you have anything else you want to add Pluribus wise.
No, 2 weeks, so Friday, and next Friday will be the finale. Yeah, wow, crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm definitely going to watch it, probably night of, and share a review and all that stuff. But I just don't know that we'll do a podcast specific to Pluribus, at least this season, just because there's some other things coming up. And one of them I want to talk to you about is Avatar, because I was surprised a couple weeks ago to hear that you had not watched the second Avatar. And then obviously like the third Avatar is coming out this week. And I'm not like the biggest Avatar fan, and people always talk about how like they just don't care about the characters and the world and all that stuff. But Avatar 1 and 2 are like 2 of the 3 biggest movies ever made. And I actually thought Avatar was pretty good. And I am fired up for Avatar 3. So you just finished Avatar 2.
Yep.
Like, where are you at right now with Avatar and watching Avatar 3?
So first, Avatar, the second one made a lot of money, right? But not like one of the biggest. But it dominated the box office. Okay.
Top three. I think he has the top three movies. I think it's like Titanic, Avatar 1, Avatar 2. And I don't think Avatar 2 surpassed it, but it's up there. Like
no, it made $2.3 billion worldwide, making it the third highest grossing film of all time behind Avatar and Endgame. So yeah, okay.
Endgame is the other one. Okay. Yeah. So
So let's rewind a little bit here. In 2009, when Avatar came out, I absolutely loved that movie. I saw it twice in the maybe 3 times in the movie theater. At least twice I saw it in the movie theater, and it blew my mind. And I loved Pandora, the story, the visuals is absolutely incredible. With 13 years going by between 1 and 2, it just lost momentum for me. You know what I mean? I think it came out in 2022. So like COVID was still kind of like a thing. People, I don't think I was going like the movie theaters as much then. And I heard it was good. I didn't hear it like blew everyone's socks off like the first one, but I heard it was really good. So it just kind of came and went and that sort of stuff. Rewind a couple weeks ago when I'm like, what am I going to watch tonight? And I texted you. And then you're like, Avatar Fire and Ash is getting really good reviews. Like,
just like the good word of mouth stuff. You know, they have they can start sharing stuff on social media, like impressions, but like everything I saw was like very positive.
And I started seeing that too. And like, this movie's incredible. It's a spectacle. It's really well done. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. Like, I'm now in, and I go to like, look, the movie's like 3 hours and 12-minute runtime.
Yeah, you texted me that.
Oh my God. 3 hours and 12 minutes. And I started at like 9 o'clock and I watched 2 hours and 10 minutes of it. Like, I couldn't stop. Like, just like I love being back in Pandora. I thought the story was really, really well, how they brought the kids into it. I liked that the bad general guy was in it again. So it was just a really good story. And I loved
it. That was like a good way of keeping that guy in the show. You know, cloned him, put him into a Navi or an avatar or however you want to do it. Like, that's a smart way to do it. And he hated those people. So it's actually kind of funny that he's one of them now, you know, and everything that entails. Good time passage too, you know. And that's good. Like,
changed it up from the force of the water was awesome. Like, the water stuff was so good. And I'm so mad at myself. Because they just re-released it a couple of weeks ago too, to get it ready for Fire and Ash. And I'm like, I wish I would have went to go see it, because seeing this,
those movies will play again at some point. Like, if you really wanted to see, I bet you there would be a time where they get re-released again.
Like, you say must see in the theater. This movie coming up on the 19th is a must see in the theater. A must see. So
totally. And despite people not caring, hey, I'm on plenty of text strings, and even a few of them, people are like, hey, you guys want to go see Avatar? Which is never a conversation I see on any other movie that comes out. Like, it's a cultural phenomenon. James Cameron's the man, you know. This is getting great reviews. It's supposed to be better than the other two. You know, he's doing it again, man, like mixing it up too. Like, you know, you had the first set of people, then you have the water people, and now this is like a different type of people. I hope it succeeds. I hope that they get a chance to make another one. You know, people say James Cameron's like wasting away making these movies, but like, dude, these movies are freaking pretty damn good.
That's, the thing is, like, and when I'm watching this and I'm like mad at myself and I'm like, of course it's good. It's like James Cameron is still James Cameron. You know what I mean? Totally. Like, he's like one of the best directors of our lifetime. He's made some of the best movies that we like, Aliens, The Abyss, obviously T2, you know, Titanic. Like, these are like not small movies. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? And you just can't bet against him, you know?
Yeah. So anyways, the reason we're not going to be able to do a Pluribus pod is we're probably going to go see Avatar in a couple weeks. And I think we're going to do an Avatar pod right before Christmas. Christmas gift for the Rehashable listeners out there. So we'll do that, and then we'll do Stranger Things after the finale in early January. So we got those big things coming up. You know, that's kind of the plan over the next 3-4 weeks.
Yep. Avatar 3, official runtime 3 hours and 15 minutes. So let's go.
Perfect. Bring it on, dude. Can't wait to see it. So
I can't wait.
That's all I wanted to discuss today, pal, unless there's anything else before we wrap it up.
No, that's it. Solid hour. And then after New Year's, these Oscar movies are starting to come out. It's that Marty Supreme movie getting all kinds of good buzz. I still want to see Begonia with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. There's a lot. The Hamnet movie
with Clooney and Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly. Is that
Jay
an
Kelly.
awesome movie? Or I've heard good things about it. It's not that good, is it? It's just like a decent enough movie.
The trailer looked incredible, and it's got Laura Dern, Adam Sandler, and George Clooney in it, and it looks great. But the reviews I'm seeing are lukewarm about it, so I kind of poured a little bit of water on what I wanna see. But it's it was one of the contenders up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
This Hamlet movie.
We'll get into all that coverage too in the next couple months as well. So a lot of stuff to look forward to.
If it wasn't for Avatar, Marty Supreme is like top of my list for like movies I want to see, because Chalamet's incredible and it looks like an awesome movie. And I actually heard it's the best movie of the year from a lot of things that I follow. And he's
I'll keep my eyes on it too.
So that's it, bud.
All right, dude. Good talk. We'll be seeing Avatar soon. I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right. See ya.
See you, bud.